LaSalle successfully hosted its 4th annual Explorathon fundraiser. Hello, I'm Sam Long.
And I'm Ethan Farrow. History was made in March Madness 2022. You're watching LTV News, where the action never stops.
Hello and welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything from 20th and Olney Avenue, Philadelphia, and the world.
There's a lot to catch up on in the next half hour, as I had the opportunity to interview a member of Explorathon's executive board, Melina Rallis, about the event that took place on April 2nd.
LaSalle has elected Eileen E. Riley to serve as chairperson for the university's Board of Trustees, becoming effective July 1st. Riley attended LaSalle as a student and graduated in 1983 with a bachelor's degree in computer sciences. She is the first woman to serve as the board's chair in 159 years of LaSalle's history. She will replace William W. Matthews after his active term of nearly 3 years in the position. She commented, quote, "It's a role I've never dreamed of holding when I first got involved with our alumni association. I am honored and proud to work on behalf of the board and our university," end quote. We wish Riley luck and can't wait to see what her dedication will bring to LaSalle.
LaSalle's MBA program ranks #1 for job placement, with 100% of graduates getting jobs within 3 months of graduating. This was an increase from their 2022 report, in which they ranked 94.1%. The report comes from the U.S. News and Weekly Report, who ranked LaSalle in their 2023 U.S. Best Graduate Schools report. The 100% placement rank tied with Michigan State, Duquesne, Pacific Lutheran, and Southern Carolina universities. Associate Professor of Accounting and Interim Dean Joseph Ugrass says, quote, "Our MBA program prepares students to become business leaders in their communities and across the world, with 100% of them hired by respected companies and institutions. Our MBA program generates a return on investment that rivals the best business schools have to offer."
Aaron danced the night away at Explorathon. Take a look at all of the fun activities that took place for the kids.
Students from many different organizations at LaSalle University came together on Saturday, April 2nd to support a good cause.
The Be Positive Foundation is one of the largest fundraisers for childhood cancer, and instead of funding research, the Be Positive Foundation directly affects the families, so it helps them pay medical bills, it helps them put food on their table, and it helps them be able to focus on helping their child get better.
It's an organization that's bigger than yourself and something that's unimaginable to go through, and it's important for us who are lucky to fundraise for those who aren't as lucky as we are.
The theme tonight is Disney, that a cure is a wish your heart makes.
So we're gonna have like a game of like Hungry Hungry Hippos, a lip sync battle's gonna go on. Just other stuff that your team does perform later on tonight, so I'm very excited.
It just helps us like hang out more. I mean, when you're doing stuff for a good cause, it just makes everyone just feel closer together. It's just a warm feeling inside. So when you're just with all your friends, just helping other people, it's just amazing.
I think my favorite part about Explorathon is just like everybody being together with stuff like this and being able to raise money for a cause that means so much to kids that need it.
LaSalle was able to raise over $31,000 at Explorathon 2022, all for the kids.
A communications student at LaSalle has been awarded a 2022 Newman Civic Fellowship. Jesse DeMeglio, a junior from Ewing, New Jersey, works with multiple nonprofits to serve those in need in the Philadelphia community. DeMeglio has a passion for social justice work, and LaSalle has provided her with many opportunities to expand her love for it. The fellowship honors students who are committed to creating a lasting social impact on communities and other communities all around the world. Director of University Ministry, Regina Gross-Kozik, wrote DeMeglio's nomination letter, and it was signed by President O'Shaughnessy. DeMeglio said, quote, "I am always excited to find people who I can keep learning from," unquote. She continues to learn from the Justice Arts Coalition and Feed Philadelphia as an avid volunteer. DeMeglio is looking forward to the next year of learning and growing her passion through social justice through this fellowship.
Foreign Language Awareness Week was a success. Aaron and Maddie had the chance to check out the food fair on Tuesday, March 29th. Take a look.
Hello, this is Erin Holly reporting for LTV News here from Hayman Hall, and we are at the Foreign Language Awareness Week food fair. So let's check out what kind of great food and fun activities we have here today.
I'm a Buska tutor for the Buska program here at LaSalle University, and this week we're doing Foreign Language Awareness Week. So basically we're celebrating the languages and the cultures of our student body, and I'm very happy to represent that. We've been planning this for like 2 months, I would say. It's taken a lot of manpower, a lot of planning, a lot of creative minds and perspectives, and that's representative of LaSalle. We're very diverse, so it took some time getting this all set up, but I'm glad that we did it together with some great people.
I think LaSalle is a Catholic school, and when it comes to religion, it needs to be like global. So to raise awareness about every other people that's taking, like, you have one thing in common with this person, and then, okay, this is one thing, this is one way we can connect you together.
Yeah, I think one of the core reasons why I go to LaSalle is because the school has like a global perspective, and I think events like this help broaden students' minds and get people accustomed to different cultures.
LaSalle TV approved.
Ethan got the chance to sit down with the morale coordinator of Explorathon to talk about how this year's event went. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Ethan Farrow, and today I'll be talking with Melina Rouse. She was the morale coordinator for the Explorathon fundraiser event here at LaSalle this past Saturday. We'll be discussing how the Explorathon event helped raise money for children with cancer through the B+ Foundation. Melina, thank you very much for being here.
Of course.
Could you explain a little bit about what the Explorathon event is?
Yes, so Explorathon goes from Andrew McDonough Foundation. That's who started it. Andrew was a teenager when he passed away from cancer. So his family started this organization called the Be Positive Foundation, and we brought it here to LaSalle, and we all year long do a bunch of fundraising for the foundation. A bunch of it goes towards childhood cancer research and patient support. We help the families who are going to get evicted from their houses or are going to lose their jobs and stuff, and help them get back on their feet because their parents are out of work and stuff, dealing with their children in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Some of them have multiple children and they have to take care of them. So we help a lot with like family support and getting families back on their feet after all of this. So then Explorathon it's a dance marathon, essentially, it was this past Saturday, like you said, and from 4 to 11, we dance and play a bunch of games and have fun and do a bunch of fundraisers in getting to our end goal.
That's awesome. That's really good. So how was the turnout for the event, do you think?
It went really well. So we had about 22 organizations sign up, from the fraternities and the sororities to the psych club to women's soccer, women's basketball. We had a bunch of organizations all try and get their own goals as well. And a bunch of people came. We had a lot of fun, played a lot of games, did a lip sync battle. That was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's great. So how do the organizations like help raise money for the event? Like how do they contribute to that?
So every organization elects a team captain, and they are the main person that we go through with Explorathon in talking to about fundraisers and such, and they do in-person fundraisers. Every organization can do it however they want, and then the exec board also does a bunch with all of the organizations. So we did a Super Bowl block pool, and we got like $500 from that, from other things like bingo boards and that kind of stuff. Everyone participates as much as they can, and every team themselves can do their own goals. Like the women's basketball team, their coach's daughter just got leukemia, so they had a whole game in support for her, and they raised a bunch of money on their page, and everyone can do kind of what they want in raising for the goal.
That's awesome. So how much money did you guys end up raising at the end?
We raised $31,308.70 or something like that.
That's really great. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Pretty good turnout.
Yeah. How about the team that you worked with, kind of like everyone that like helped set up like the event and stuff like that? Like how long did it take you guys to kind of like get that together?
So on exec board, everyone has different roles. So like Mel is our executive director. She kind of overlooks everything. And then we have Savannah, who specifically works just with the team captains and relaying information to them. We have a PR person. We have internal and external fundraising chairs. And then I do the morale. So I plan the whole day of event. I get the shirts, I get the food, I get the decorations, I plan all the games, everything for the actual event I do. And then everyone else just kind of does their own parts, and then we work together, and we've been doing it since the summertime. So.
Awesome. So how soon do you guys think you'll start prepping again for the event again next year?
2 weeks. Applications are in 2 weeks.
That's awesome. So how can people know how to sign up for the event again next year?
So Explorathon's Instagram will post the link for applications, and then Mel is our executive director again next year, and Hugh is our Be Positive representative, and they'll host interviews for the executive board positions.
Okay. Awesome. So one last question. So regarding that Be Positive representative, what's the role that they kind of play with this whole process?
Yeah, so they, Hugh is our representative from them. They send a rep to each school, and he's great. He helps us with absolutely everything that we need. And all of the money, like, we go through their Venmo, and we go directly through them, and they give us anything we need, anything that can help us achieve our goals, they'll give. They make the bingo boards if we need them. They make all of the fundraisers if we need them. They have lists and lists of what we need to get done, and they help out a lot. And then all of our money will get sent to them on like Venmo or something, and then they get put it right towards the families.
Awesome, that's great. Well, thank you very much for coming here and talking with me, and we'll head right back to the desk. It's time for a quick break, but coming up, a deaf man won an Oscar. Stay tuned.
Using meth taught me everything about freedom, only not like you think. It taught me how easy it is to lose your freedom, how meth can take control until you find yourself doing whatever meth tells you to do. Before you get there, while you still can, take a stand for yourself. If you feel yourself losing your freedom to meth, ask for help. Accept the help. It's worth it. You have the power to be truly free and be the person you want to be. I know. I'm Jan, and I'm free from meth.
If you or someone you know is struggling with meth, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/meth.
MS does suck.
MS mucks with your central nervous system. Almost everything about your body, your muscles, your organs, your ability to speak, your ability to understand, your ability to move.
MS took everything from me, everything I thought was important, everything I valued.
I used to jump in a trampoline and swim with the kids.
MS has affected me being a mom because I'm sorry.
Despite MS, I will keep riding my bike.
I will continue to be the strongest mom that I possibly can.
I will still dance with my husband.
I will continue to live the life that my daughter expects me to live.
Multiple sclerosis may be a part of who you are, but it doesn't define you.
I will never stop. I will never quit.
I'm gonna keep being me.
Philadelphia has endured a steady rise in gun violence and assault over the past few months, with an alarming 120 deaths during the month of March. Now, in an effort to diminish some of the hostility, officials have created a new crime hotline which allows residents resources on gun violence prevention and safety tips. The Violence Prevention Hotline was launched Monday the 28th of March for worried residents to call, text, or email with their concerns regarding gun violence. The hotline is available 24 hours with dozens of informed staff ready to ease anxieties and provide useful information. There's also another way for residents to address issues which are gun-related without having to interact with the police. In addition to being an outlet, the hotline will also provide resources on conflict resolution, peer counseling, job programs, and behavioral health support.
Troy Kotsur became the first deaf man to win an Oscar at the 2022 Academy Awards March 27th. In the Best Picture winning film Coda, he plays Frank Rossi, a deaf fisherman who struggles to understand his hearing daughter's dreams of being a singer. His co-star, Marlene Matlin, was the first ever deaf actor to receive an Oscar in the 1987 film Children of a Lesser God. Kotsur was born deaf in 1968 and grew up in Mesa, Arizona, eventually studying acting at Gauntlet University in Washington, D.C. He has also contributed to major performances at Deaf West Theater in Los Angeles. In his Oscar acceptance speech, Kotsur signed, quote, "This is dedicated to the deaf community, the CODA community, and the disabled community. This is our moment," end quote.
Eagles fans are excited to hear that the old-fashioned Kelly green jerseys are making a comeback. The Philadelphia Eagles will be wearing their classic Kelly green jerseys and matching helmets on the field in 2023. The Eagles owner, Jeffrey Lurie, said, quote, "It's what our fans have wanted. It's what we've wanted. And we're going to be able to introduce that this season, unquote. Lurie did not bring back the jerseys without a matching helmet. Starting this year, the NFL said that the teams could use 2 different helmets. This is the perfect opportunity to bring back the Kelly green jerseys with matching helmets. The new old uniforms won't be ready until next year because Nike is working to perfect the same shade of green from the 1980s. For now, the Eagles will be alternating between midnight green and black, but stay tuned for Kelly green next year.
2 Ukrainian refugees arrived in Philadelphia. The women, both from Kyiv professors, walked many of the 450 miles from Kyiv to Warsaw in order to escape. Over the course of their trip, they had to sleep in a McDonald's and were granted visas by the U.S. Embassy in Warsaw to come. They are currently staying in the St. Nicholas Orthodox Church. They are extremely thankful but saddened. One professor named Puketska said, quote, "There is bombing in Kyiv. It is really very deep emotion. I don't want to cry, but it is very difficult to resist," end quote. The woman will soon be joined by more refugees.
St. Peter's University in New Jersey made NCAA tournament history by becoming the first number 15 seed ever to advance into the Elite Eight after knocking off number 3 seed Purdue in one of the most recent Sweet 16 upsets. The St. Peter's Peacocks' win over the Boilermakers gave them the second victory in a double-digit underdog in 3 2022 March Madness wins, something no team before them has ever accomplished before. This new record set off celebrations all over the New Jersey area and beyond. They will face off against the elite number 4 seed UCLA or number 8 seed North Carolina in the East Regional Final. They were eventually beaten by North Carolina 69-49.
A local South Philadelphia elementary school has officially changed its name this week. Formerly, Andrew Jackson Elementary has a new name, Fannie Jackson Coppin. The school community gathered for an unveiling ceremony on Tuesday as the principal, Kelly Espinoza, revealed a new sign honoring the new namesake. Community members had pushed for several years to remove the president's name, part of a nationwide movement to rename schools whose namesakes have racist histories. More than 1,000 school and community members provided input on the new name, choosing from 4 notable black figures within Philadelphia ties, including Coppin, abolitionist William Still, civil rights leader Barbara Rose Johns, and former Philadelphia Inquirer editor Asel Moore. Other Philadelphia schools are reconsidering their names, including Woodrow Wilson Middle School in the Northeast and Philip H. Sheridan Elementary in Kensington. Well, Ethan, feels great to be back on desk after a prolonged absence, taking care of some work-related things.
It's great to have you back.
Still
man.
helping behind the scenes, but I'm glad to be up here.
Great to have you.
It's always always a hoot and a good time, as they say.
That's right.
So how about St. Peter's? I don't know how invested you are in college basketball.
Not much, but that was definitely really eye-opening. That must have been really cool for them to be able to do something like that and make history.
Yeah, my bracket was sure busted day one from that. I can't say it made things any better. I was still absolutely awful this year, but on the fun side, seeing a team that low take down a number 2 seed,
that's the underdog
absurd.
story. It's great.
My one roommate got a chance to go to Wells Fargo for the games on Sunday, which included the St. Peter's game where they lost. But still, I can only imagine the energy in that room just watching underdogs just be absolutely absurd. I'm sure it's absolutely electric in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So how about those schools changing their names?
Yeah, that's really something. Yeah, and I think personally it's kind of a good thing that they're doing that. Maybe kind of like going and righting some of the wrongs that might have happened before, and maybe they'll be able to continue to do that in the future. So
yeah, it's definitely great to see some of those historical names with not so great history surrounding them, changing their names to something more present, celebrating all the culture the city has to offer. It's definitely much better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Hollywood actor Bruce Willis is retiring from his acting career due to a diagnosis of brain disease. Willis was diagnosed with aphasia, a condition that leads to cognitive impairments, making it difficult to comprehend and express language. In an Instagram post, Willis' family states that, quote, "As a result of this and with much consideration, Bruce is stepping away from the career that has meant so much to him. We are moving through this as a strong family unit and wanted to bring his fans in because we know how much this means to you, as it does to him."
Diplomats from Russia and Ukraine met in Istanbul on March 29th to discuss another round of negotiations. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan opened for the talks by calling for an immediate ceasefire and saying that, quote, "We should expect solid outcomes," end quote. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has expressed his wanting to discuss some of the Kremlin's demands, declaring neutrality, staying out of NATO, and pledging not to develop its own nuclear arsenal. Quote, "Security guarantees and neutrality, the non-nuclear status of our state. We're ready to do that," Zelensky said, end quote. Quote again, "That's the most important point. They started the war because of it," end quote.
Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida has signed House Bill 1557, Parental Rights in Education, on March 28th, which reinforces parents' fundamental rights to make decisions regarding the upbringing of their children. The bill prohibits classroom instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade and prohibits instruction that is not age appropriate for students. It also requires school districts to adopt procedures notifying parents if there is a change in services from school regarding a child's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being. The bill builds on the Parents' Bill of Rights, which was signed into law in Florida last year, and is part of Governor DeSantis' Year of the Parent, focusing on protecting parents' rights in education. The governor said, quote, "Parents' rights have been increasingly under assault around the nation, But in Florida, we stand up for the rights of parents and the fundamental role that they play in the education of their children. Also, he said, quote, parents have every right to be informed about services offered to their child at school and should be protected from schools using classroom instruction to sexualize their kids as young as 5 years old.
So how about Bruce Willis retiring?
Yeah, that's really a shame that something like that happened to him. He's obviously a great actor. He's been in a lot of some of my favorite movies, so I really hope he gets better soon. I wish him well.
Yeah, I was absolutely heartbroken to read this news. Not only is Die Hard my favorite Christmas movie, it's my favorite movie, period. I've watched it more times than I can count on 10 fingers and 10 toes. It's just, I don't know what it is, but I could watch Die Hard 100 times in a year.
I agree with you.
Never grow old of it. It's just an absolute classic. And having to see someone who's definitely been in the spotlight for most of our lives and a lot of movies
Decades,
we love, have to deal with a disease as awful as that where your body just slowly deteriorates.
Yeah.
I can only wish him well in health for years to come and hope that he finds some relief in stepping away from the spotlight.
I agree 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like Florida is in turmoil.
Yeah,
definitely,
right now. Definitely making a big a step with this bill. Obviously, a lot of people are calling it the "Don't Say Gay" bill. That's kind of the name that they've kind of pinned on it. But yeah, he's definitely taking a big step with putting this out there, and I guess we're gonna see how it goes for them and how people react to that. So.
Yeah, a lot of big corporation like Disney is now going to war with Ron DeSantis, which I find great, especially a company like Disney. I would never imagine to take action on a matter like this, but seeing them completely oppose what DeSantis is trying to put in place has just been great to watch. It's nice to see the big guy do something for a change.
I agree.
And we still have this ongoing war going on between Russia and Ukraine.
Yes.
I know we don't hear about it as much in mainstream news as much as we did the first 2 weeks, but there's definitely still stuff going on. People are still being bombed and losing their homes. It's just
it's very
absolute tragedy. Well, that just about does it for this week's episode. But be sure to find us on the web as well as the rest of LaSalle TV on our Facebook page. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so tweet at us using our Twitter handle and start the conversation.
If you missed the scoop and want to see it, you can find episodes on YouTube at our LaSalle TV Philly page.
Until next time, for Aaron, Maddie, and the entire crew, I'm Sam Long. Thank you for watching LTV News, where the action never stops.